The mass grave containing 1,000 skeletons recently discovered in Germany has shocked archaeologists. Germany, with its long history and developed civilization, is one of the countries with many significant archaeological discoveries, contributing to shedding light on the mysteries of ancient times. From excavations in areas such as the Messel Pit quarry or ancient tombs in Saxony-Anhalt, archaeologists have uncovered a wealth of relics, fossils, and valuable artifacts, helping us imagine the lives of humans and animals over millions of years. These discoveries not only provide deep insights into the development of human history, but also open up fascinating stories about changes in climate, ecology, and ancient social and cultural systems. Each new discovery in Germany is an important piece in the broader picture of the past, helping to clarify the complex relationships between humans, nature, and cultures that once existed. So, during its golden years, what discoveries did archaeologists make in Germany? Let's join us in today's video to find out what those discoveries are. Mass grave, containing 1,000 skeletons. Recently, on March 5, 2024, a shocking press release was issued when archaeologists discovered around 1,000 skeletons of victims of the plague in mass graves in downtown Nuremberg, Germany. Experts estimate that the total number of bodies in the area could exceed 1,500, with the remaining bodies found during a survey before the construction of new residential buildings in the city. Melanie Langbein, from Nuremberg's Heritage Conservation Department, shared with CNN that 8 plague victim burial pits had been identified, with each pit containing hundreds of bodies. These individuals were not buried in a typical cemetery, meaning a large number of people had to be buried in a short period without regard for burial customs. For this reason, a plague outbreak, such as the bubonic plague, is likely the cause of the formation of these mass graves. Melanie Langbein further stated that Nuremberg suffered from plague outbreaks about every 10 years starting from the 14th century, making dating the remains a challenge. As a result, archaeologists used radiocarbon dating to estimate that the mass grave dates back to the late 1400s to early 1600s. They also found pottery fragments and coins from that time period at the site. Additionally, they discovered a note from 1634 detailing a plague outbreak that killed over 15,000 people in 1632 to 1633, mentioning that nearly 2,000 people were buried near Sebastian-Spittel, the current excavation site. This evidence led the research team to conclude that the older remains likely date back to the 1632 to 1633 plague. Meanwhile, Julian Decker, the owner of In Terra Veritas, the company conducting the excavation, told CNN that he was surprised by the discovery. He said, "There were no signs indicating mass graves in this field," and added that when the first remains were found, he thought they might be from World War II bombings. However, after further examination, he concluded that this could be one of the largest mass graves in Europe, with the number of bodies possibly reaching 2,000 or even higher. This discovery not only sheds light on a painful part of Nuremberg's history, but also evokes reflections on the devastating impact of the plague and how people faced the haunting specter of death during dark times. Plagues are truly terrifying, aren't they? Just look back at the COVID pandemic from the past years, and we can see what humanity endured in the past. Explorer's body, preserved by sea winds in perfect condition. This discovery was not made in Germany, but it belongs to a German citizen. The find caused a stir in the archaeological community, and it certainly deserves to be mentioned for those who may not be aware of it in this video. Specifically, in 2016, residents of the Philippines accidentally found the mummified body of a German explorer named Manfred Fritz Bajorat, 59, aboard his yacht off the coast of Borobo, Surigao del Sur, Philippines, in the Indian Ocean. The body was perfectly preserved, not decomposed, resembling the mummies of ancient Egypt. Prior to this, Bajorat had been reported missing after setting sail a year earlier. His body was discovered by 2 Filipino fishermen when they found the drifting yacht, its sail torn. Manfred's body was nearly intact, despite having been over a year since it was found. He was slumped over a desk, next to his radiophone. This detail suggests that Bajorat may have attempted to call for help but was unsuccessful. Also found was a letter to his late wife and faded photographs of his family and friends. Through research and analysis, scientists believe that Bajorat's body was preserved like a mummy due to the dry sea winds, hot temperatures, salty air, and the lack of bacteria, which caused his body tissue to dry out quickly and eventually shrink, leaving him intact. Christopher Rivas, one of the two fishermen who discovered the yacht, said that while working, he noticed an old white boat with a torn sail and immediately reported it to authorities. Upon investigating the scene, police found no signs of foul play on the boat, no marks of assault or violence. This suggests that the victim may have had a heart attack, stroke, or another deadly condition, but the exact time of death remains unclear after many years. Zombie tomb. Last April, archaeologists at the State Prehistoric Museum in Saxony-Anhalt in Aachen, Germany, made a groundbreaking discovery in the field of archaeology. They unearthed a tomb dating back to the Neolithic period with a unique feature that made researchers ponder. Specifically, while digging into the grave, archaeologists discovered a large stone placed over the body, seemingly intentionally placed there to weigh down the deceased's legs. The theory proposed is that this stone may have been used to prevent the dead from rising again. This was a common belief in ancient cultures, where people feared that the soul or body could be resurrected and become a revenant, or in other words, these souls or bodies were believed to have the ability to return from the afterlife. According to Suzanne Friedrich, the project manager of the excavation, ancient people believed that sometimes the dead might attempt to free themselves from their graves, and they used methods such as placing stones on the body or burying the deceased face down to prevent this from happening. As a result, scientists refer to such graves as zombie tombs. This reflects the belief in the Neolithic period that humans were not truly dead until their bodies had fully decomposed. Archaeologists believe that the newly unearthed body in Germany had been exhumed and moved, based on the position of the body at burial. This burial method also raises other interpretations, such as an execution or a burial with other cultural purposes. Scientists have not yet fully analyzed the site, but the fear of zombies among ancient peoples is certainly considered a reasonable hypothesis. Archaeologists believe this tomb belonged to someone from the bell beaker culture, which spread across Europe and existed from 2800 to 1800 BCE. The bell beaker culture is named after the distinctive bell-shaped drinking vessels they used. As you can see, this discovery may further clarify the strange beliefs and unique burial methods of ancient peoples, helping us better understand how they dealt with death and their fear of the mysteries in the spiritual world. The treasure of the richest mayor of the 17th century. When workers were installing a new sewer line on a farm in Wettin, a town in central eastern Germany, they accidentally discovered a hidden treasure. A coin collection, which included 285 silver coins dating from 1499 to 1652, found in a sewer trench. This treasure contained a mix of large silver coins, including thalers minted by the Holy Roman Empire and foreign coins. While most of the coins found were Saxon in origin, there were also rarer types, such as a few Schreckenberg groschen coins, which would have been used locally, an Italian scudo from 1630, and a metal coin minted by the Grand Duke of Tuscany in 1620. Experts believe the treasure may have been buried after the end of the 30 Years' War, 1618 to 1648, a conflict primarily fought in Central Europe that resulted in around 8 million deaths. After many years underground, the coins had turned green. Based on the number of coins in the collection, experts concluded that the treasure likely belonged to Johann Dondorf, who served as mayor of Wettin in the late 1660s and was one of the wealthiest citizens of the town. During Dondorf's time as mayor, Wettin was an incredibly wealthy brewing town during and after the 30 Years' War, and his wealth became evident after his death in 1675. Upon his death, the court estimated his estate, revealing that he had accumulated more than 2,500 thalers and 500 ducats, gold coins, which he had hidden in various rooms of his home. He truly was a wealthy man. At this point, I wish I could be as rich as that. How about you? A 3,000-year-old sword, still gleaming. On June 17, 2023, authorities in Bavaria announced that during an excavation in the town of Nordlingen, Bavaria, Germany, archaeologists unexpectedly discovered a sword more than 3,000 years old. What was remarkable was that the sword was still gleaming despite having been buried for over 3,000 years. This news quickly made headlines in international media. Looking at the images, you can see that the sword had an octagonal hilt. Archaeologists found this artifact in a grave containing the remains of a man, a woman, and a young boy. Several other bronze objects were also buried with the deceased, alongside the sword. Professor Matthias Feil, representing the Bavarian State Committee for the Preservation of Historical Artifacts, stated that both the sword and the grave still need further research for more accurate information. However, at present, they could confirm that the condition of the sword was unusually well preserved. Such an archaeological discovery is incredibly rare. The 600-year-old prosthetic hand. In 2023, archaeologists in Germany made a remarkable discovery of a centuries-old skeleton accompanied by a metal prosthetic hand, unveiling a fascinating story about medieval medical techniques and advances in treating injuries. This discovery was announced by the Bavarian State Office for the Preservation of Monuments, as scientists used carbon dating to estimate the age of both the skeleton and the prosthetic hand. The results indicated that the man lived between 1450 and 1620, meaning the prosthetic hand could be nearly 600 years old. According to archaeologists, the man was between 30 and 50 years old when he died, and he had lost 4 fingers from his left hand. The amputated fingers were replaced with a prosthetic hand, encased in a sturdy metal box. Notably, inside the prosthetic hand, there was a layer of fabric resembling bandages, which may have been used to cushion the stump, suggesting advanced medical knowledge at the time. The skeleton was found near a church in the town of Freising, Bavaria, about 40 kilometers north of Munich. Freising was a strategic location during the medieval period, especially during the 30 Years' War, 1618 to 1648, where many amputations took place. As a result, this area may have been a hub for the development of prosthetic body parts, with over 50 similar prosthetics discovered in Central Europe. This prosthetic hand is not the only historical discovery of prosthetic limbs. Archaeologists also found a complex, movable prosthetic hand worn by the knight Gotz von Berlichingen after 1530. Additionally, a 3,000-year-old prosthetic toe was discovered in Egypt, belonging to the daughter of a priest, helping her walk more easily while maintaining an aesthetic appearance. Thus, this discovery not only offers a fascinating glimpse into historical medicine and the development of prosthetics, but it also highlights the creativity and resilience of humans in responding to challenges posed by the body and time in those periods. The mysterious mummy in the attic. A strange discovery in 2013 caused a stir in northern Germany when 10-year-old Alexander Kettler accidentally found a mummy wrapped in bandages in the attic of his grandmother's house in Diepholz. The mummy, believed to be from ancient Egypt, was preserved in a finely crafted stone sarcophagus adorned with characteristic hieroglyphic patterns. Inside the sarcophagus, there was a mask in a small jar, which the ancient Egyptians used to store organs removed during the embalming process. Alexander discovered the sarcophagus while rummaging through old items in the attic. Initially, no one knew the origins of the mummy and the accompanying artifacts. Experts soon began investigating to determine whether this was a real ancient Egyptian mummy or simply a perfect replica. One theory proposed that it could be a rare souvenir brought back by Alexander's late father, Lutz Wolfgang Kettler, who had visited North Africa in the 1950s when it was still possible to buy real mummies. At the time, Mr. Kettler, a dentist, did not perform an X-ray to examine the mummy, but had planned to send it to Berlin for further research by archaeologists. He also noted that the mummy had no unusual odor and had been forgotten in the attic for at least 40 years, adding an air of mystery to the story as to how it had quietly remained in the family without anyone knowing. Imagine yourself in the shoes of that 10-year-old boy, stumbling upon an ancient mummy in your kitchen. How would you react? If it were me, I'd probably be terrified and run away immediately. I know, I might seem like a scaredy cat, but that's just human instinct, right? If you're like me, don't feel bad, it's totally normal. The 3,000-year-old treasure of ancient Europeans. Germany is the second most populous country in Europe, after Russia. The country plays a significant role in the development of the continent and the world in general. Countless ancient treasures have been discovered in Germany, and recently, in the state of Mecklenburg-Western Pomerania, experts made a groundbreaking discovery of 3 precious treasures, each dating back 3,000 years. These treasures, containing thousands of artifacts of various types, were found during the process of dredging soil to improve ditches and plow fields. In the first treasure, experts found 7 ancient swords. Despite being over 3 millennia old, their shape remained largely intact, with only some bending, breaking, and discoloration. due to oxidation. These swords were likely used in religious rituals during the Bronze Age. The second treasure clearly had a religious focus. It contained 2 relic boxes filled with religious items such as an ancient cross, 1,700 coins, rings, pearl necklaces, and other jewelry. According to archaeologists, this is a rare piece of evidence of Christian faith in a region that had been influenced by other beliefs during that era. The third treasure was discovered near Rügen, the largest island in Germany. This treasure contained 6,000 silver coins dating from the 11th century, originating from various regions. Archaeologists consider this the largest collection of Slavic coins ever found since the post-war period. These ancient coins are of significant research value, helping experts trace trade and historical relationships in the 11th century. Germany is truly an ideal place if you're looking for ancient artifacts, especially giant treasures like these. The rare Roman coin hoard. A metal detectorist in Germany discovered a rare treasure of nearly 3,000 Roman coins outside the ancient borders of the Roman Empire. The metal detectorist immediately reported the findings to government archaeologists in Koblenz, a city along the Rhine River. Subsequent excavations uncovered about 2,940 coins and over 200 pieces of thin silver, decorated with geometric patterns, buried in a ceramic pot, which has since broken, hidden between 2 stones. Timo Lang, the director of the Koblenz branch of the State Archaeological Office of Rhineland-Palatinate, who oversaw the excavation, said, "Most of the coins are called Antoniniani, the official silver currency of the Roman Empire in the 3rd century, though they were primarily made of copper with a thin silver coating. Due to their poor preservation, only 100 coins have been identified so far, most of which feature portraits of a Roman or Gallic emperor on one side and other images on the reverse, such as the gods Hercules and Mars. The oldest coins feature Roman Emperor Gordianus III, reigned from 238 to 244 AD, while the youngest coins depict Gallic Emperor Victorinus, reigned from 269 to 271 AD. Archaeologists are unsure what the thin silver pieces were, but the shape of the ceramic pot fits with the Roman ceramic tradition of the 3rd century AD. Timo Lang added that these coins date from 241 to 243 AD to 269 to 271 AD, so this treasure may have been buried in the early 270s. This discovery was made near the town of Hirschbach in the Westerwald Mountains, 18 kilometers from the Upper Germanic Limes, the defensive border marking the boundary of the Roman Empire with Germanic tribes. While 3rd century Roman coins are commonly found within the borders of the empire, finding such a large treasure outside the former empire's territory is extremely rare. So how did these coins end up in enemy territory? Several possibilities exist. One is that the Gallic Empire attempted to bribe German elites to prevent them from attacking or invading the Roman Empire. However, why these coins were buried in the Westerwald Mountains, where no known German settlements exist, remains a mystery. 3-in-1 Ancient Fossil. An incredibly unique archaeological discovery was announced by paleontologists in 2016, offering a rare glimpse into the prehistoric food chain. At the abandoned Messel Pit quarry in Germany, researchers uncovered a fossil that preserved the complete evidence of a struggle for survival. Inside a lizard, they found a small insect, and the lizard itself had been swallowed by a snake. This discovery not only highlights the rarity of such a find, but also reveals a complex food chain that took place near a volcanic lake around 48 million years ago. The fossil is one of 2 extremely rare specimens found in this area, containing 3 animals within a single specimen. Paleontologist Christer Smith from the Senckenberg Institute, who participated in the research, said, "This may be the type of fossil that researchers might never encounter again in their entire careers. It's incredibly rare." The researchers speculate that the ancient lizard ate the insect 2 days before it was consumed by the snake. However, the cause of death for the snake remains a mystery. One hypothesis suggests it may have died from toxic gases emitted by the volcano. Paleontologist Jason Head from the University of Cambridge compared this discovery to a prehistoric turducken, an interesting combination of 3 creatures from different levels in the food chain. To see such a food chain within the belly of an ancient snake is truly remarkable, he said. Therefore, it is not an exaggeration to say that this discovery is not only a tale of life and death in nature, but also provides profound insight into the complex food chain of the prehistoric era. As you can see, the archaeological discoveries in Germany not only provide valuable insights into the past, but also open up priceless research opportunities regarding the development of humanity through different eras. From ancient fossils, mysterious tombs, to rich cultural relics, each discovery enriches humanity's knowledge base. These findings not only help us better understand history, but also connect the past with the present, continuing to inspire future generations of researchers. What about you? What discovery has impressed you the most? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more exciting discoveries. For now, goodbye, and see you next time.